Hi, everyone. Diana Rankin here with Piper, who's right down here at my feet. I'm catching my breath because the lawnmower guy was coming to pick up my lawnmower to get it ready for summer between 3 and 4, and he showed up just about 3 minutes ago. And I went running to the door when the doorbell rang and ran him across to the barn and said, "You'll have to lock up because I've got to get back to my desk." Anyway, interesting day. Today, welcome. Sheila, hello. Yes, Piper's, well, now she just went back over. There she is. She was right here at my feet and she went back over toward her bed. We're fine. We're fine. We are, uh, the community up at the lake, they have just come together to clean up, and it's a miracle what's taking place, how quickly they're being able to clean everything up. So thank you for those of you who have contacted me privately to ask about that. I want to also say, last week we talked about how to turn fear-based emotions into love-based emotions. So basically how to be happy. And this isn't about, I wanted to clarify something, because someone said, well, some people are just goo-goo happy. And I said, this isn't about goo-goo, boo-boo-boo happy. This is about real, deep spiritual joy. And that's what true happiness is. So this isn't just la la land those processes are for, to make you live in la la land. It's really about looking at the deeper issues, healing those issues, but in the meantime, having some processes to help you move from this emotion to this emotion. So if you haven't already, check out that video. And yes, Sheila, I want to apologize to you. Hello, Akila. She says, hello, everyone. So glad to see you. Sheila's in Amsterdam, and I just assumed everybody knew the United States went on daylight savings time. So we missed you last week, Sheila, uh, because, yeah, we're all an hour earlier. And I remember when we didn't go through this. It's kind of nice to have the light at the end of the day, but getting up in the dark, get enough of that in the wintertime. So anyway, we are on daylight savings time. So for those of you who are used to us coming on at 1 o'clock, whatever that time is for you, it's now an hour, spring back, an hour earlier. Spring back, or an hour later. It's an hour later. Look it up. I'm sorry. Hello, Sandra. Hello. She says, hello, everyone from Frankfurt. So right now where I am, it's 1:03 Eastern Daylight Time. So whatever time it is where you are, that's the new time until next, September, October, something like that. We go back on regular time. I'm telling you, the US just confuses me sometimes. Anyway, we're going to talk about spirit guides today. And our questions from one of you. And if you have questions, by the way, just put those questions into the comments below. I'm still catching my breath from the lawnmower guy showing up 2 hours early. So, and running outside, and it's cold out today, by the way. Anyway, I will calm down here as we get moving. But our questions today, we have 3 of them related to a spirit guide. Why do we need a spirit guide? Is a spirit guide part of us or a separate entity? Excuse me. I'm losing my voice here. Thank you. And then the third, how did you meet Phillip? Okay, we'll just get going, and Piper's going to probably fall asleep back there. She's she had a little tummy ache earlier and left her breakfast on the pad by her dishes a couple of hours later. So, but she seems fine now. that rarely happens. I know when she came to me, I was told she had a sensitive tummy, and we've been very fortunate. It seems like she might have outgrown that, but today, no, it was there. So Piper will appreciate your healing energy and prayers. Thank you, because she keeps begging for treats, and she's not gonna get any, not till maybe tomorrow even. But don't tell her that. She loves her treats. Okay, why do we need a spirit guide? Well, I'm going to first of all tell you a personal story. And some of you know this. When I was around 5 years old, I was kicked out of Sunday school. I was raised in an evangelical environment, in an evangelical church. But something was wrong for me. Now, I'm grateful. I don't consider myself a Christian these days because God is within me. God is part of me, not a God out here sitting here telling me what to do, but a God in here. And when I was 5, I asked a question, and I asked too many questions. And before I forget, yes, we will get a message from one of my books, Phillip's. It's an oracle book, The Master's Book of Answers by Phillip. I was deep in meditation, preparing for today, when the lawnmower guy came to pick up the lawnmower, and it was like, ah! Anyway. So my question when I was 5, and this is the question that got me kicked out of Sunday school and sent up to my grandmother's Sunday school class, was, why can't we talk directly to God? Why do we have to go through Jesus? Well, at the time, I was 5. I didn't understand why we couldn't talk directly to God, because I did, or thought I did. What happened then, years later, I really kind of got the answer myself. As humans, we like to have that human connection. This is why in the Catholic tradition, people talk to Mary. There's a connection to that humanness. And that's what a spirit guide gives us. That's what Philip gives me, is that direct human connection to another human feeling being. And so that's what a spirit guide does. So whether you're a Christian and you talk to Jesus, or a Buddha and you talk to the Buddha, in Buddhism, my understanding is we don't talk to God. It isn't a God, it's love. And so my feeling is a little bit closer to that God to me is love. And that's what God will always be. But I answered my question. So this is what Philip has to say. Sorry about that. I thought I turned my phone off, but apparently I didn't turn it off. One of the phones, well, you can probably hear it ringing in the background. So I apologize. Like I said, that man showing up just a few minutes before we went live really threw me. I'm going to also answer the question. The third question is, how did I meet Philip? And I'm going to answer that and then give you Philip's take on spirit guides. I was in a group session with with some other friends, and we were talking to a psychic. And one of the questions I had is, does my spirit guide have a name? Spirit guides don't care if they have a name. That's not important. Sometimes we even assign them a name. Sometimes I find with people who work with me, it is more comfortable even working with a loved one who's moved into spirit world. And excuse me, I think that might be my alarm going off. So if you will excuse me, I'm going to go in the other room, or I'll tell you what, I'll just close my office door and then I won't hear it. Hold on 1 minute. Sorry. My apologies. It's nothing like being in a deep meditation and having something someone show up ringing the doorbell at the last minute. That throws you off guard. Anyway, so what the other psychic said that my guide Philip was saying is, my name is the second name down in your name book. Well, I had a close friend named Peter, so I automatically said Peter. And the spirit, or the psychic, the spirit guide through the psychic, came back and said, no, not Peter. So I have a name book. Well, what's a name book? Those of us who write fiction know what a name book is. It tells you, it's a book of names that just describes the energy of the name, what the name means. So I went and I looked in my name book, and sure enough, it was Philip. And so Philip became the name for my spirit guide, and that felt right. So I thought, as I delved deeper into who Philip was, he was my ancient teacher many, many years ago during medieval times, or probably a little before. And a friend of mine asked, she works with Philip also, and many people who have worked with me do end up working with Philip. And so she asked me, or she asked Philip why I'm the teacher and she's the student, because she has studied with me. And Philip said, because she was the pretty one, and so she had to get married, and I had to go to school. And I'm so grateful. And she said she wishes she could have gone to school instead of getting married. Anyway, we don't have to have names, but if you want to know how to meet your spirit guide, I have a blog. Just go to my blog, which is on my website, which is just my name. And it's printed below. Excuse me. I'm talking too fast, and I ran outside where it's very cold, and that kind of set my throat off. But I have a blog about directions to meet your spirit guide. I also have a video. So just, again, go to my channel, or you're on my channel. So just Diana Rankin YouTube spirit guide, and you'll find it. I meant to put the ULEs below, but you can find it on your own. So I want now to read what Philip says about spirit guides, but I want to first of all say hello, Joanne. It's so good to see you. Hey, love and light to you all, she says, and good to see you. Thank you for being here. And I want to also say, well, Sheila and Akila and Joanne are familiar with this because they attend. And again, around the world, we can do this. Sandra's probably middle of night for you, but at Friday, and it'll be March 29th, that we will hold Sacred Circle. And in Sacred Circle, again, go to my website, check on events, and you'll be able to find it. And yes, this is a bear, by the way. So Sacred Circle, I tell a story, and then we do a guided meditation for personal and planetary healing, and then you will get a psychic message if you so choose. Everybody does. Akila says, can't wait. Thank you, Akila. We'll see you then. Well, I think we have, next week. That's next week, isn't it? Yeah, because this is the 22nd. So next week, we'll also do the predictions instead of a message. We'll do the predictions for, and Joanne, good. We'll see you then too. Glad to see you're all coming. Next week, the 29th, the last day, or the last Friday of March, we will do the predictions for April. Okay, here. Let's see what Philip has to say about spirit guides. Why do we need a spirit guide? The same question could be asked, why do you need a teacher? It is simply because a spirit guide has studies and knowledge to give you that you have not yet obtained and wish to have. Look at the words for which you call us. Spirit, because we are in spirit, not in third world dimensional body. And guide, because that is what we do. We guide you when asked. And yes, everyone can access their spirit guide for the purpose of helping them grow. You ask if a spirit guide is part, and again, I have a blog that gives you one of them gives you 5 steps, and then a video, and one gives you 7 steps. And I think the blog is 7 steps and the video 5, but honestly, I'm not sure. I haven't checked them for a while, but you can find them. Check them out if you're not working with your spirit guide, and get a chance to meet your guide, and then start trusting it. And remember, it's a process. It's not going to happen overnight, so be nice to yourself. Philip goes on to say, you ask if a spirit guide is part of you or a separate entity. The answer, of course, is both. But how can this be, you ask? It is for you to know. Words in the human language are not adequate enough to explain fully. That is so true. And think about it. When you've had like a mystical experience, or one of those experiences of synchronicity where you can't explain it, and words kind of diminish it, in a sense, the words we use, because we don't have, for those mystical experiences, we don't have words that explain it. And yeah. Philip goes on to say, we will do our best, but you must remember, even in the simplest of terms, it will not be understood except in moments of clarity by the heart that then disappears. We are of you, but not you. By this we mean we are all one, so in this sense we are of you. We are also you in that we are part of you, and at the same time we are a separate entity. In extremely rare cases, you may have been your guide in another life experience. This is quite rare, as spirit guides are highly evolved. So what would the purpose of coming into human existence be at this time? Love. Love for humanity enough to take on a human form to make a change in the world's energy. I want to tear up when I hear that, because what a sacrifice. Kuan Yin, the ancient Chinese goddess, I think that speaks of her. Most spirit guides have been teachers to you in other life experiences, not you. Can you tap into, can you tap into your higher self without a guide? Of course, you do so all the time. Your spirit guide is here to guide you as you ask, through human life and also through spirit world, where many are nearby to help you. Your spirit guide is here to guide you and to offer you guidance through the maze of both worlds, human and spirit. That's what Philip has to say about spirit guide. And I always, when I teach the weekend course, which I don't know that I'll do again, I'm getting older, girls and boys. I'm 78 going, and it's like, do I have the energy to teach that course again? It's a weekend and it takes a lot of energy. Anyway, I always say, ask for the communicator or the main guide, the guide that you've worked with your whole life, because we have multiple helpers around us. We have multiple spirits, and we have angels, and we have protectors, and we have, like I said last week, I needed a name for that anger, which helps me. So we have multiple beings around us. And think about, if you're standing in a room and a dozen people are talking to you at once, it's hard to understand what they're saying. So once we really get used to, like Philip, who channels everything, then we can start working with our healers. We can start working with our animal communicators. For example, Philippe is my animal person. Isadora is the healer for humans. Andorra is the healer for animals, and along with Philippe, who has worked with St. Francis of Assisi way back when. So we have these multiple beings, but start with your main guide, because that will be the most helpful. And again, think about standing in a room and everyone's talking to you. You don't get anything clearly. So that main guide is here to give you all the information clearly and help you work it through. And, like that little 5-year-old Diana, why can't we talk directly to God? Absolutely, you can. Absolutely, you do all the time. But if you want also a guide who I think helps make it a little clearer, and helps us understand some of the deeper things that are going on. Like Phillip gives us human words, explanations. Work with a guide. That'll be helpful. And again, if you're a Christian and you want to work with Jesus, or you're Catholic Christian and want to work with Mary, or whatever religion you are, and you want to work with a particular being or saint of that religion, do it. And I think it's okay, even if you're not of that religion, to work with the religious figure if that's what works for you. But if you want to work for a guide with a spirit guide like Philip, you can do that as well. And I do recommend it. But I also recommend working directly with the God within you, your own deeper self. And your guide is all a part of that. I love you, my friends. Thank you for helping me calm down after that last minute unexpected. And it worked out fine. I had 3 minutes is all it took to open the doors for him and run back in the house, but I just didn't have that time to catch my breath. So thank you. And stay warm. And I will thank you for the hearts you're sending me. I love it. And I will see many of you at Sacred Circle. Please join us. Again, just go to the website. The information's there. Next week, we will do April predictions. I do want to say it looks like it's going to be a bumpy ride for the next several months here in the U.S., which if ripple waves out into the world, because it is election year, and it's not necessarily going to be a kind election year. So I love you all. Akila says thank you. Thank you, Akila and Joanne and Sandra and Sheila and all of you who support us and are here with us today. Thank you all for those of you who watch when you can't be with us live. Thank you for your comments, for your thumbs up, your likes. I love you all. Thank you for the love that you send us. And thank you for the love you receive for receiving the love from us. Sheila says thank you. Thank you. Love you all. Bye for now.